What's up, y'all? Peace, Rob Blackstorm. Hope everybody's having a great day. What I want to talk to y'all about is conscious unhappiness. And why I'm calling this conscious unhappiness is a lot of people claim to be conscious. A lot of people claim to be woke. A lot of people claim to be spiritual. But these same conscious, woke, spiritual people are as happy as a motherfucker. They don't have good relationships with their family. They don't have good relationships with their children. They don't have good relationships with their co-workers. They don't even have good relationships with their lovers. And you wonder why. When I started this journey, it was in 1996. The first book that I read was From Niggas to God by Akil. I read volume 1, went to volume 2. Then I started reading books by Chancellor Williams. They came before Columbus. And a host of other books. Started getting into magic, spirituality, spiritual science, macrobiotics, things like that. Now, I remember when I first awakened, I was mad as hell. Just mad. Mad at everybody for everything. Upset. And I had reason to be. You lived in this world for all these years, been told a lie, been misled and bamboozled. Plymouth Rock fell on you, as Malcolm said, and you're trying to figure this shit out. And as you're trying to figure it out, what happens is you uncover and unravel all the lies that you've been told all your life. All the things that have been real to you, you now see are fake. You see that Christianity's fake. You see that Islam's fake. You see that all these religions that you've been involved with are fake and are really stand-ins for your true spiritual culture, which is chaos, which is divinity, which is the solstices, which is the equinoxes, which is the full moon. Those are your real holy days. So then you start to adjust. You may not celebrate Thanksgiving, or if you do celebrate Thanksgiving with the fam, you want to tell them how it's an unjust celebration because of what happened to the Native Americans, aka Indians, right? Even though there were black people here way before Columbus hit. But that's another story. But, so the next thing is you don't celebrate Christmas because you feel like it's a fake holiday. Even though it's really a celebration of the end of the winter solstice. So it really is a holy day. And until you don't celebrate these holidays, you become woke. You don't want to celebrate these holidays. You don't want to hang out with certain people. And you start changing your behavior. You start changing your actions. Start going to lectures. You start attending seminars. Start watching people on YouTube. You start reading different books. You start looking at different things. And the more you look at and the more you read, the more unhappy you get. Because you realize you're living in a world where that's, in a lot of ways, out of your control, right? Shit that happens in Africa, New Zealand, Australia, Jamaica, Antigua, you can't really do anything about. And worldwide, you see that black people and Africans are fucked up and are going through a lot of bullshit. So you identify with that. And it brings you pain. But the goal in consciousness is to be the sun. Akhenaten, who really threw off the whole Egyptian mystery system and changed Egypt forever. Akhenaten is really responsible for the fall of Kemetic society. If you study the dynasties of Egypt or Kemet, you'll see that. But his he was on a right track. He was on well, not the right track, but he was on a certain track. And Akhenaten was the father of the most famous King Tut. Everybody talks about King Tut. So that was his pops. But what Akhenaten did was he changed the mystery school system from people worshiping under an esoteric guise to everyone having to worship the sun. Now the sun is not meant to be worshipped, obviously. But the sun is a symbol for who we are. We are solar people. And the sun, you have something in your body called the solar plexus, right? Residing right here under the heart. And what the solar plexus does is it pretty much regulates the energy that circulates throughout your body. Now, when you have this, oh, well, not when you have, we all have a solar plexus. But when you think of the sun and you think of what the sun does, as far as radiating, shining, helping things grow, bringing heat to the planet, bringing warmth to the planet, also burning things, drying things out, helping things to die and wither that are not growing. You have to realize that you are the sun as well, because you have a solar plexus. The solar plexus regulates your energy in your body, and the sun regulates the energy on the earth. So when we go into spiritual culture and we start spiritual culture, the first thing that happens is anger, and that's understandable. But we have to remember the goal of spiritual culture is to live a better life, to live a peaceful life, to live a happy life, to live a life that promotes our well-being and goodness. And if our solar plexus in our body is what regulates the energy throughout our body, then we have to realize that we have a sun within us. Now, how are we using our internal sunlight? How are we generating our energy? If we become conscious and all our energy goes to being upset, being mad, being frustrated, because there's always going to be a news story about something happening to black people. There's always going to be a news article. There's always going to be something in the media. There's always going to be something in the press that's going to make you upset, that's going to make you question society. But we have to remember that we are the sun. We have to remember that we're here to shine light. A lot of us call ourselves light workers. But what does light work entail? What does light work entail? Because the sun shines on everything. The sun shines on everyone. The sun shines on us all, right? We could talk about chaos magic and chaos, but out of chaos comes order. When you wake up in the morning, that sun is going to be there no matter what. That sun is going to be out no matter what. Just like at night, that sun is going to be on another side of the planet. But if we're seeing ourselves as sons of men, S-U-N-S, as sons of men, then our responsibility is always to be light. In Egyptian Kemetic theology, there's the measuring of the heart. And the heart is weighed on a feather, or on the scale of ma'at, on the scale of balance, on the scale of ma'at, the scale of balance. The heart is being measured. And the whole goal of that picture is to show that your heart is light as a feather. By your heart being light as a feather, it means that you are sensitive and receptive to the energy around you. And because you are sensitive and receptive to the energy around you, you are able to use that energy wisely. You're able to channel that energy wisely. You're able to execute with that energy your goals, your dreams, your ambition, and even your spiritual power, clairvoyance, clairaudience, psychic abilities, mad physical magic, things like that. Manifesting your dreams and your goals, the law of attraction. All that has to do with your heart being measured of that on that feather of my eye. That's what that whole weighing of the heart was about. They call the heart the AB, even though your abdomen is here, which is your stomach, which is another center. We won't get into that now, but that is actually one of your three brains: the stomach, the heart, and your brain. They all have their own consciousness. So you are a universe within yourself. You are a galaxy system. Your individual body is a galaxy system. So we have to remember that the whole goal of this spiritual culture is to not be stressed. It is to be at peace. That is the ultimate goal. To be at peace. Just like dark matter out in space is at peace, our goal is to be at peace as much as possible. Stressful things are going to happen. Police is going to do some bullshit to black people from time to time. The government's going to do bullshit to black people. The world is going to do bullshit to black people. If you're about spirituality and you shining light on these subjects, the whole goal is not to be emotional, not to be mad. The whole goal is to shine light and to put energy towards that. If you're really about saving black people, then what are you really doing? If you're really about helping people, then what are you actually doing? Because a lot of times we want to help people and we want to save the black community. We want to save African people, but we're not saving ourselves. What's the use of saving 100 black people if you're unhappy? What's the use of saving 1,000 black people if you don't have a good relationship with your children? What's good about saving 1 million black people if you can't treat a black woman right? People telling people don't watch the BET Awards, don't watch this award show, you can't wear weave, sister. You can't dress in certain clothes, sister. Black man, you being too lustful, brother. Oh, you listening to the Locks, my brother, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So for being woke and being conscious and knowing that knowledge is a burden, and it really is. The more you know, the more responsibility you have to yourself and the world around you. So knowledge is a burden. That's why they say ignorance is bliss. Because when you're ignorant, you could always use the excuse that you don't know better. But when you know better, as they say, you got to do better. So the key is, how are you going to do better? If you're always upset, if you're always stressed out, if every time a news story comes, you're unhappy. Every time you get information, it's the Illuminati. I seen some shit that said Mary J. Blige was a clone last night. So what if it was a clone? What if it was? Nigga, are you working to the point? Are you putting your hustle? Are you putting your effort? Are you putting your dreams? Are you putting your energy into mastering you and manipulating the planet around you and attracting the things and goals that you want? Or are you worried about clones? Are you worried about flat earth? I know a nigga who could tell me everything about flat earth, but can't pay his light bill. Can't pay his light bill, but he knows all the people who produce flat Earth, all the science around it, has a thorough understanding, but can't figure out how he's going to pay his light bill. So, what's important? The importance is peace. The importance is happiness. So as we learn these things, and as we become more responsible for the world around us, as we become more responsible for our lives, the one thing we have to realize is, one, you can't save everybody. There's some people who's going to fuck with you, and there's some people who's not going to fuck with you. That's just the way life is. Yin and yang, winners and losers, ups and downs, rain and sunshine. That's just the way life is. So instead of worried about saving everybody, save yourself. Put in work for you. Find people around you that are willing to help you and to grow and develop. Put energy towards your goals and desires and your dreams. Make those things happen. And when those things happen, then you go out and try to save the world. But don't be a hotep on the internet trying to save everybody, and your mama is your grandma got custody of your kids. Don't be trying to save everybody and talk about how black women need to take their weave out, and you ain't got no money. You don't got nothing saved up. Be the sun. We just went through the summer solstice. In fact, today's the 24th that I'm recording this. This is actually a big day of celebration in some countries. Latch onto that energy. Harness that energy. Look at a picture of them and how they feel. Feel that energy. And as you're feeling that energy from the celebration, visualize your objective. Whether your objective is to, have more sales in your business, whether your objective is to get a raise at work, a career change, whether your objective is to get a mate, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. Channel that energy and use it. But stop telling people not to watch award shows. Stop telling people not to celebrate Christmas and Thanksgiving. Stop telling people not to celebrate the 4th of July. Because really, when you break a lot of these holidays down, they're celestial events. The 4th of July coming up is a celestial event. It's a celebration of Sirius. The red, white, and blue is a celebration of the colors of the star Sirius. You can look it up. That's where the red, white, and blue comes from, because Sirius is the brightest star in the night sky, and it flickers red, white, and blue, rainbow color, right? And those are the primary colors. Red, well, really, I think it's red, blue, and yellow, if I'm not mistaken. No, red, blue, and green. Those are the primary colors, red, blue, and green. So we have to come to an understanding that the spiritual path is not about being unhappy. The spiritual path is not about not celebrating anything. The spiritual path is not about not dancing. The spiritual path is not about not having sex. The spiritual path is not being isolated away from everyone and saying you hate everyone. The spiritual path is being light, shining light, being light, becoming what you need to be, mastering yourself, disciplining yourself, and being as peaceful and as happy as you can be doing so. So, don't look for things to be upset about. Don't start your morning with bad news. Don't start your morning sharing bad news articles. Don't start your day watching the news. Don't start your day around negative people as possible. Put on your headphones, put on some good music, vibe out, do your meditations, do your prayers, do your affirmations on a daily basis. Do your magic on your full moons and your equinoxes. Do your daily ritual. And live a happy life. Live a peaceful life. Live a powerful life. Peace, power, and prosperity, y'all. Like, share. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. One. Peace.